Shipping logjams and higher freight costs also popped up in retail earnings reports this week. As we alluded to, we're going to talk to Dana, joining us now to talk about the impact of supply chain issues and her outlook for retail. Dana Telsey, Chief Research Officer and CEO at Telsey Advisory Group. Is it everybody, Dana?
It's everybody, Joe. Nice to see you and Melissa. It is everyone that's having this issue. And ocean container freight rates that I've heard about in just getting the goods in from China to ports on the West Coast went from $1,500 6 months ago to $15,000 now and growing. Being able to get the goods for holiday season is a concern, and we're hearing these headwinds are continuing through 2022. There's no end in sight yet.
So knowing you have done the math and thought about who could be less affected, I guess, in terms of margins, who has pricing, who's in a better position to deal with these things, and who are the companies that aren't?
We have. I mean, we've been doing that work all along. What we're seeing out there right now, you're seeing pricing power. Some of the apparel companies have pricing power. You look at companies like Tapestry, where there's some pricing power. You look at companies like Urban Outfitters and Abercrombie. We're thinking of cosmetics businesses like Estee Lauder, like Ulta, where they are seeing pricing power because of product innovation. You mentioned Gap earlier. They had a very good quarter. Numbers are moving up. They basically have been able to manage through the freight while still being a headwind. For the second half of the year, I don't have any apparel company that isn't going to have a headwind from freight, monitored by and frankly moderated by demand. The demand is there. Goods are selling at full price because inventory levels are lean. And this is going to be, through the end of the year, what every company is talking about.
We have talked about how the pandemic affected everybody in terms of omni-channel and online orders. And then we say, well, this isn't the pandemic, this is supply chain. But that's the pandemic, too. So it's all related to that, but it seems like a different sort of side of what we're dealing with. It's still the pandemic. But let's go back to the other thing we were talking about, and that is people going to stores and whether they're picking up goods from, I read Dick's, people are coming to the parking lot, ordering things, going and picking up the goods there. So there's a lot of nuance in the way we're doing retailing based on Delta.
Yeah, what you and I talked about 5 years ago, it's a different world today. Curbside pickup, ship from store. That physical store is being used for more functionality than ever before. And it's essential. We've seen that. And the other thing we're seeing, as stores open up, and granted traffic is not at the levels of 2019 yet, but you're also seeing digital sales continue to be strong. You need to have both. And I think right now, hopefully this Delta variant subsides, we all get boosters, but going out to social occasions again, what are you seeing? New fashion cycles. Denim jeans, there's new trends in denim jeans, there's new tops. People want to get out there and gather safely and buy new things because they haven't bought new things. You mentioned back to school. Look at Children's Place, where the month of August has seen a 41% increase in their sales versus 2 years ago. And August 2 years ago was their best month in history. So we're seeing different ways that retail is done. You mentioned virtual try-on before. Well, it's now even virtual try-on cosmetics too. We have learned different ways.